Qatar is an Arab country. It is an adjunct on the Arabian Peninsula, projects into the Persian Gulf on the seaward side, opposite Iran, and on its landward side, it shares a border with Saudi Arabia. Its population today is about 300,000 people. Only about 12% of them are native Qataris. All the others are foreign workers, mainly from places like Bangladesh, the Philippines, Pakistan, from India, and Sri Lanka. There's some Egyptians. Has the world's third largest reserves of natural gas and oil. It is one of the largest exporters of liquefied natural gas in the world. And it is very influential due to its money that it spends on achieving its ends, on influencing people, and also through the Al Jazeera media network, which reaches millions of people all around the earth and is quite popular. Qatar has a name that may originally have been spelled as Qatar, may be descended from Ishmael, the son of Abraham. The leading dynasty has a tradition that they indeed descend from Ishmael. Until recently, it was a slave state, imported slaves, used slaves, sold slaves. Even now, they regularly abduct girls from Baluchistan, which is not that far away, and sell them as wives. In the past, both Saudi Arabia and Qatar, they would persuade black African Muslims to make the trip to Mecca, sometimes lend them money to make the trip, or pay for them to do so. And when they were in Arabian Mecca, they would be abducted. They would be made slaves in Saudi or in Qatar. And this may still continue. According to our understanding of Islam, it should be forbidden to make slaves of a fellow Muslim, but they do it, and they did it. They used the excuse of making a pilgrimage to Mecca as a means to do so. So that means you have Muslims and you have Muslims. And if you're black, you're still a black Muslim. And slavery still exists in Qatar. Slavery still exists in Qatar under the guise of labor contracts that never end and for which pay is never or very seldom given. This is known. This is not something that based on obscure rumors. Wiki page features about it. You can look it up. They have the Global Slavery Index, which is an international group of experts on combating slavery and human trafficking with the assistance of the Gallup Research Company. It estimates that in Qatar there are more than 30,000 people in the form of modern slavery in Qatar. Approximately 7 out of every 1,000 people is a slave in Qatar. And Qatar is a Muslim Brotherhood country. The reigning dynasty of Qatar, the reigning dynasty of Qatar is believes in the Muslim Brotherhood. It's an associate of the Muslim Brotherhood. Other countries that have similar associations are Hamas in Gaza, and Turkey. And Turkey is less so. since even though Erdogan, the Turkish leader, is a member of the Muslim Brotherhood and believes in its ideology, it is still restricted due to the quasi-democratic structure of their constitution and of their government. But in principle, Turkey too is a member of the Muslim Brotherhood. Person, the ruler of Qatar is Al-Thani. It's called Al-Thani. The Al-Thani clan. The current Emir is Tamim bin Hamad Al-Thani from the Al-Thani clan, and he holds nearly all executive, legislative, and judicial authority under the constitution of Qatar. He is an autocratic ruler. He is a dictator, in other words. But the other members of his clan also hold important positions. And Al-Thani, as a member of Muslim Brotherhood, believes that Islam should rule all over the earth. The state of Israel should be destroyed and Jews killed everywhere they are, or forced to become Muslim. In October 2023, the forces of Hamas in Gaza, they attacked Israeli settlements, killing, raping, torturing, and taking captives, of which 50 are still in captivity, and they're not letting them go. And Israel fought a war against them in an attempt to bring back its captives. Now Israel controls about 2/3 of the area of Gaza, but the third that they do not control is the most populated area, and Hamas still controls that. And the people of Gaza have been suffering intermittently, have been suffering on and off from lack of food. Israel is not interested in starving the population, though many in Israel would like to see the people of Gaza move somewhere else. And they are not, and there's no love lost between them. They attacked Israel, and not only did the professional killers from Hamas, who'd been trained and paid to do this, they were the leaders, but they were followed by ordinary citizens who followed them into Israel. About 1,500 professionals went in first, and after that came the citizens. The citizens included ordinary people, ordinary workers, even a few women, a few young people, that is adolescents, and they came in after the professionals of Hamas had already begun to take over settlements and so on, and these citizens came in after them and helped them, and they looted the Israeli areas, and they found Israelis who were hiding, and they took them captive, and they sold them to Hamas, and in some cases they also participated in war crimes and sexual attacks that the Hamas professionals were carrying out. So there's not a lot to say in their defense. They are culpable as well as any of the others. And Israel is trying to send in food. It is sending in food, is succeeding on and off. People of Gaza are not dying of hunger. Some of them are quite well fed, others are not, but on the whole they are getting by. And Israel is managing to overcome the hurdles and the obstacles that are being placed in its path. And there's also Christian organizations from the USA and elsewhere that are helping Israel feed the Gazans, feed the people of Gaza. There's always a problem that people from Hamas shoot at them, kill them, shoot at ordinary Arabs who go wanting to collect food, to feed their families, to feed their children. They are people, the soldiers of Gaza, the professional murderers of the Hamas, shoot at them and kill them. On occasion, those members of the citizenship of Gaza who go to the Israeli and international forces who are giving out the food, and they shoot at them and they kill them because they don't want any of the food going through any other channels except themselves. And they hijack the food and then they sell it at grossly exorbitant prices. They're quite rich, and the leaders of Hamas in Gaza have safe houses in Qatar, and some of the most wanted ones are still there. They are permanently in Qatar. Whilst they wage war against Israel, and the strategy of Hamas is that the people of Gaza should starve, should be starving, and they should raise a ruckus, arouse the sympathy of people in the West, of people all over the earth, to condemn Israel and to bring pressure to bear on Israel, on Israel to get out of Gaza, to abandon its captives that the Hamas is holding, to abandon its own people, and also to enable Hamas to score a face-saving victory, to get something out of it. Also, they hope to arouse sympathy, enough sympathy so that some type of international crusade should be launched against Israel, and armed forces should intervene to save the people of Gaza, in effect, but ostensibly, but actually to perhaps destroy the state of Israel whilst they're going about it. And the head of the UN, the Spanish head, Spain has a long history of anti-Semitism. The Spanish head of the UN is speaking of this, and also the president of Ireland, Higgins, is speaking of this. The father of Higgins was an IRA veteran, and he himself has uttered statements that are anti-Jewish, and he seems to be obsessed with the state of Israel, with condemning the state of Israel at any chance he gets.